People today know more about cancer, are making healthier choices to prevent cancer, and are surviving cancer longer and more often than in any time in history, a history we helped to define and shape. 1913. Cancer was a completely taboo subject. Many thought it was contagious, and almost everyone thought it was hopeless. The American Society for the Control of Cancer was created in that year by a small group of New York City physicians, business leaders, and prominent citizens determined to break through centuries of silence and ignorance with information and open discussion. During these early years, our cancer-fighting mission formally became known as a crusade, and our newly adopted Sword of Hope became a reassuring symbol of compassion and action. A crusade needs an army, which is exactly what Mrs. Marjorie Illig, a distinguished society volunteer, proposed in 1936. A woman's field army. Over time, 500,000 trained volunteers waging war against cancer. As their reach and impact spread, public misconceptions about cancer began to recede. The slow but steady progress in cancer treatments also added to the growing feeling of hope. As the country recovered from the Second World War, the Society adopted a new and easier-to-remember name. Our education programs, services for patients, and successful fundraising efforts flourished, reaching more and more people. In 1945, we also began to fund young scientific and medical researchers whose careers, like their ideas, were fresh and untested, but filled with potential. Just 1 year later, Dr. Sidney Farber, a recipient of our funding, discovered the first chemical to send a cancer into remission. After that, lights and imaginations burned late in research labs across the country, while we were working to empower people with information about new ways of detecting cancer early.
Each year, let your birthday remind you to get the Pap test from your doctor or clinic and make sure you're clear of uterine cancer. It can mean the most precious birthday present of all.
In the middle of the 20th century, the Society began its own study into what was thought of then as the possible but doubtful link between smoking and lung cancer.
For recent statistics have shown that since 1924, cancer of the lung has increased 24-fold in men and 10-fold in women. The reasons for this increase are not yet finally established, but a variety of causes are under suspicion.
As Americans became more interested in detecting cancer, our messages became even more hopeful and more proactive.
I'm Charlton Heston, and I've got some good news for you from the American Cancer Society. Cancer is curable.
Give now to help us save lives as ours have been saved. Give to the American Cancer Society now.
In view of the continuing and mounting evidence from many sources, it is a judgment of the committee that cigarette smoking contributes substantially to mortality from certain specific diseases and to the overall death rate.
Supported now by solid scientific evidence, we took on the tobacco monoliths and their chokehold on millions of Americans.
Have you ever thought of what happens when you smoke a cigarette? We have.
Have we been successful? Seen the price of cigarettes lately? Anyone lighting up at the restaurant table next to you? Miss cigarette ads on TV? But is our battle over? In the 1960s, the American Cancer Society and this woman introduced a program which forever changed the way breast cancer survivors faced life after cancer. Therese Lasser, herself a breast cancer survivor, began visiting women after their surgery, offering them equal measures of recovery information and empathy. The American Cancer Society Reach to Recovery program became our first, but not our last, patient support program to draw upon the unique "I've been there" knowledge and comfort only one cancer survivor can give another. By the 1960s, our 20-year investments in cancer research were paying off. Dr. Robert Weinberg, whose discovery of genes which can change into bladder cancer genes would lead the way to today's promising genetic cancer treatments. Dr. T. Ming Chu, the discoverer of the PSA test for prostate cancer. Dr. Mary Claire King, discoverer of a breast cancer gene. The list goes on and on. Throughout our history, the American Cancer Society has always provided valuable links between science and what people can actually do to benefit most from any new discovery.
Every woman in America over 35 should know this word, mammography. It's a fast and simple procedure that can detect breast cancer early while it's highly curable.
Our guidelines for recommended cancer detection exams, for diet and physical activity, have always reflected science, not fads. And we've created popular opportunities for people to make healthy choices and new beginnings.
If you're a smoker like me, try kicking the habit for just one day on Thursday, November the 17th. That's the date of the Great American Smokeout.
Starting in 1985, the American Cancer Society Relay for Life gave America a new way to join together to celebrate many kinds of victories over cancer. What began with one man on one track has grown to 3 million people. And more than 4,000 relay events, the most successful event ever created by any nonprofit organization. Technology today can deliver information instantaneously, but can you trust that information? In 1995, we launched Cancer.org, offering up-to-the-minute cancer information and our recognized credibility. 2 years later, 1-800-ACS-2345.
Thank you for calling your American Cancer Society. This is Laura. How may I help you?
Today, the American Cancer Society also serves as a political voice for cancer survivors, their families, and anyone concerned about important health issues. We've organized our volunteers locally and brought thousands of volunteers and cancer survivors to a national stage to speak out on issues affecting the quality of life for cancer survivors and everyone. Information has become the international language, the international currency. The Society has enhanced its role as a world leader among voluntary health organizations both abroad and back at home. We can see now that our crusade is nearer to its end than its beginning. We don't go door to door collecting funds and providing information, but we are still walking, and we are still providing information, but in ways unimaginable 90 years ago.
You get calls for all different sorts of cancer. How do you get the information? How do you retain it all?
We have several different tools that we can use to help us, and this is one of them. I'll show you. This is part of our cancer information database, where we get a lot of answers to questions when people call.
We still fund research. Since 1945, we spent about $3 billion. Today, there are more than 2 million American Cancer Society volunteers. Gone are the uniforms, usually. We still comfort and care, but today we also empower. The American Cancer Society. This is where people go for help and where people come to make a difference.